Hello there, my Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Path of True Love reading. I didn't even look at the card. I don't want to know yet. I'm actually doing this on Monday, September 23rd. So today is Mabon, Blessed Autumnal Equinox, first day of the Sun in Libra. So happy birthday, y'all, for the next, whatever it is, month, right? Until close to the end of October. I have my calendar over there. I could look it up, but you know what it is. You know what your birthday is for the sun signs. I have Venus in Libra. This is almost the last reading I have to do for the Path of True Love for October 2019, where my own personal planets are involved. I have a moon in Pisces, so that one's always last. I save it for last. And I just did my own reading, right? So this way, hopefully that clears. I got what I needed out of that. I can be a bit more impersonal, because you know what? Venus and Libra. Well, it could be, but is it me? It's like, let me just do my reading first. And because it's Sabbath energy and all of that stuff, I spoke with my gods, my angels, my masters last night for a good hour inside the castle wall of my soul. So I'm feeling really good, really balanced. Wearing the Aphrodite ring and the Eros torque of Eros, Cupid's bow, Eros's bow. They both sit in the throne of Libra as they would, one side for each scale. So let's do this. The blessing was really lovely, really sweet, but you know, that's just what I'm feeling in the collective. We'll see how this plays itself out in theme and variation. Now, if you haven't watched any of the other videos, you get a little surprise at the end. So do check your other signs, because they all get that surprise in the end. So let's do this. I call upon my collective pantheon of angels, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please give us one archetype card. What is the dominant archetype, the soul power that the Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign will be alchemizing from lead to gold on the path of true love for October 2019. Oh, the mediator. Oh, perfect. The mediator is so Libra, all right? You'll hear why, right? The mediator, light attribute. This is the gold you're shooting for in your personal alchemy on the path. Gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life. Respect for both sides of the argument. So Libra, right? That's so Libra. Shadow attribute, negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. So keep an eye on your personal agendas. That is the shadow self. Yeah, I'll negotiate fairness with my thumb on the scale, right? That's kind of really it. And, you know, it's not the judge archetype, which actually has, I believe, the artwork of a scale in it. But this is one person sitting in the center, two people with their backs turned, and she's like, well, you know, if you would just listen, if you, but maybe, you know, they both have a point, right? And maybe you're doing that within yourself for the month of October 2019, right? On the path of true love, mediating as your higher self to the child, the ego, the fear within you in a relationship. Now remember, the path of true love is not about anybody else but you. This is your path that you contracted and signed up for. So twin flame, soulmate, divine connection, all that stuff. Just remember it's about you. This is your end of the contract that we look at. So it's personal. So let's ask the angels. We're going to build a horizontal line here, and then we're going to clarify with the same decks. You'll see. It's kind of cool. I like this spread. Did it for myself the first day before. Well, I was doing it for a little while before I started recording this zodiacal series, and I was like, let me just read me before I do Aries, and I was like, okay, got it, message received. So let's do this. My angels, please, can you clarify for this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love, the mediator archetype for October 2019? Balance. I mean, come on, you can't make this shit up. There we go. So the mediator and balance, big shock, right? Not at all. Not shocked, not shocked, right? So let's ask the gods. And remember, I'm really asking for the energy of Aphrodite and Eros, because they sit in the throne. But really, any of the gods, this need not necessarily be about romance, nor Is Libra all about romance? Yes, it's ruled by Venus, but Venus is about relationships and partnerships, 7th house, right? Partnerships, but dealing with the shadow side. So what are the chances are that on your path, regardless of who you deal with the mediator archetype, right? Negotiating fairness and strategy, that you're trying to bring your shadow into the lead into gold, right? All of that into a healthy balance. So let's ask the gods. My gods, please. One card in clarity. Oh, right. This is past, present, future. So, sorry, forgot about that part. This card, this vertical line will be about the past, the present, the future. So this is where you've been on the path of true love, bringing yourself into balance, which totally supports that mediator. So now we look, where are you? Thank you for reminding me, my gods. It's a high holy day. We're just going to trust, right? Just trust. Please, my gods, one card of clarity for this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Where are they now on the path of true love? That's where they were on the path of true love. Where they are now for October 2019, indecision but not mental. Desire, today you're sort of juggling it, right? For right now, and you know, time is fluid that way. It's like, well, I kind of want this and I kind of want that, but doesn't that make sense? With balance, right? Bringing yourself into balance, but now you're looking at your element of fire. It's like, well, okay, I kind of know what I want, but do I want it this way? Do I want it that way? Also look at not just the what you want, but the why, because that determines the motivation behind it, right? Is there a shadow agenda, a hidden agenda, either personally or professionally? Something to look at. So the mediator is the dominant archetype, balance, where you've been on the path, Two of Flames, where you are on the path, and this is all relative to October 2019. So the past could be a month ago, could be a year ago, right? The present could be the month of October. And when you're reading the collective with so many variations on a theme, we're just defining a theme. So, you know, don't hammer it into place, Libra. If this is not your reading, you'll probably know in the next two cards drawn. So my masters, please clarify for this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, where are they going on the path of true love relative to October 2019? Problem. All right. And again, this is like an issue of balance, that somebody's giving more than the other, or you're triggering each other, which triggering is necessary in relationships once you realize that they're not the one causing you to feel what you feel. They just stepped on your own subconscious landmine. They didn't know it was there. You might have known it was there, but if it's an unconscious landmine, really easy to project responsibility onto them in terms of that where you're going. And it's good that the problems come up. Look, don't avoid the problems. You know, that's why I love Eckhart Tolle. He goes, in the present moment, there are no problems. There are just situations, right? And every problem bears within it the seed of its own resolution. So that's what the path of true love is about. If you're expecting a smooth, easily paved primrose path of true love, I don't know anybody who's gotten that ever, right? There's always going to be twists and turns. There's always going to be challenges. Problem, however, particularly in this, it's like something's not fitting right now. That doesn't mean that can't change, but that might also be inside of you. Right? Immediately we want to say, oh, it's a problem with another person. And I get that, my Libras, my scaly whalies, but, you know, may not be the case just yet. So let's get Whispers of Love we're doing for the 5D. So now what we're doing here is we've got the angels, the gods, the masters. We've got the past, where you've been, the present, where you are, the future, where you're going. Now we're going to clarify this balance card. We're going to throw down those Whispers of Love from the higher selves of all involved, the fifth dimensional perspective. So my gods, can you please clarify this card of balance for this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign relative to the path of true love? Where have they been on the path of true love relative to October 2019? Okay, the Empress. So a balance of the divine feminine within you, about your fertility, about your inherent worth. This isn't even about self-worth. This is about the abundance of the richness and the love and emotion that you have inside of you, and that you very well may be giving birth to, or have given birth to within yourself. Such a lovely card such the divine feminine. And I do agree that the Empress is the conglomeration or the merger of all of the queens in the tarot, that she really is the spirit, right? So you've got air, fire, water, earth, spirit. Then the Empress would be that spirit, right? Okay, so my masters, please clarify where they are now in terms of this. Indecision isn't the right word for that, because that's air. This is like, well, I want to do that, but I want to do that too. Or do I want to do that? Don't I? I mean, it's very, very Libra, but it's element of fire, so staying purely in the mental doesn't help. Yes, fire needs air to survive, certainly something to think about, but to take it not just out of the head, bring it into the body, bring it into the soul. You know, what will you choose? You know, this isn't about indecision. It's about I don't know how to choose. I don't know which to choose, because I'm doing it with my air. Which word? You know, it's an air sign, Libra. I get it. So my masters, what particularly with that problem card where you're going, right? So please, my masters, can you please clarify this two of flames for this Libra collective sun, moon, rising Venus sign? Where are they now relative to the path of true love in October 2019? Oh, beautiful. Grace. This is not something that you do on your own. This is something you call upon the divine for. Call upon your ascended masters. I know it's a weird word to say to pagans, but we have them, and a lot of them are pagan. Probably the majority of them are, because there was paganism on the planet longer than anything else, because it predates all the written stuff. So call upon the grace. Grace is a mystical substance. It's like saying, okay, I don't know what to do about this. Do it through me. Do it for me. Under grace and imperfect ways. You might want to look up the collective works of Florence Scovel Shinn. Really, really older work. It's turn of the century, not this one, the last one, right? The word of the game of life and how to play it. That's where I learned the phrase under grace and imperfect ways. So may this two of flames be balanced and clarified for me under grace and perfect ways, right? For the well-being of all that I am now, and so it is, right? Just another way of saying it, looking at it. So now we're going to pull an angel to look at this problem. Now remember, the angels have the broadest overview. They're celestials. I mean, we are the angels in terms of the higher self. Oh yeah, go watch the Angels in Disguise vid. I did it somewhere in church. It was a good one. Had a lot of fun. Lovely people. And I behaved myself. I didn't drop an F-bomb through the whole thing. Well, pat on the back. So my angels, can you please clarify this problem card for this Libra collective sun, moon, rising Venus sign on the path of true love? Where are they going on the path of true love with this problem? Now, the music card, you know, not my favorite card in the whole deck. It's a little vague. And certainly I know different intellectual interpretations, and I can give you a couple right off the bat. Pay attention to the music that you hear in your head and on the radio, and that pops up in random. There are messages, what I call audio tarot. The other is if you have any kind of musical talent, right? Use it, right? Even if it's writing lyrics, or, you know, I am such a car drummer, like in my car on my steering wheel. I have really good rhythm. Yeah, I was a dancer. I have really good rhythm, and I love music, and music can absolutely get me through problems, right? Like in terms of matching my vibe or the next notch up, right? I can feel that and tune to that and go with it. But then there's that part of this that every song has a beginning, a middle, and end, right? Except for the song that doesn't end, because it goes on and on, my friends. So keep that in mind. That's like I said, like that card in this, in the Dorian Virtue Healing with Angels Oracle, is not my favorite. It's a little vague, but that's why we know that there's a problem. Where you're going, there's a problem that involves music, or music is part of the resolution. You hear a song, it all makes sense, right? Well, because what is music about? Harmony, right? Most of them. Hopefully it's kind of harmony rather than dissonance. So let's get this third whiny done. For the past, right, where you've been. So we're clarifying the balance card with the Empress, which is just perfect. I mean, so lovely. That feels so delicious to me. So where you're coming from as the mediator, right, that soul power feels really good. But now we got the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, possible Womp Womp card. Let's have a look. Please, my masters, one card, please clarify for this Libra collective sun, moon, rising Venus sign on the path of true love for October 2019. Where have they been on the path of true love in context, in relation, relative to October 2019. Healing. Yes, I'm so happy for us. Healing, that we've been bringing ourselves into balance with the divine feminine, with the Empress, with the best of who we are inside. So nobody might be knowing about this healing that's going on. Hopefully you do, right? But with the mediator, trying to bring yourself into balance, trying to see both sides of things, blessed be, that there is a healing that has already taken place. Is it still underway? Healing is always still underway, right? Who knows when healing ends? Supposedly we even heal beyond the veil, but obviously not physical stuff, because we ain't got bodies not like that, not like these ones, right? But moving into the fifth dimension, the 5D, who knows? So now what we're going to do, so we've got a God, we've got a master, we need an angel for this. So we're going to be looking to clarify that the two of flames, the two of wands. With the angels, my angels, please clarify for this Libra collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for October 2019. Where are they now on the path? Oh, meditation. Just jumped right out of the deck. All right, so that's good, right? Meditate on grace. Meditate on both of them. Like, not just meditate, you know, nothing wrong with zen out. Nothing like being in the silence. I love it. That's when we really experience oneness, unity consciousness beyond the mind. Because the mind, we're not the mind. The mind is a thing. It's an element. It's the element of air. We breathe air, right? I hope. So, you know, for grace, to really meditate on grace, contemplate grace. So you're being given some mental leeway here, right? So you've already done this balance where you've been, right? You have this balance to bring healing with the Divine Mother. Stay with that Divine Feminine in terms of the thinking and the feeling, to bring the masculine feminine into balance through not just contemplation, but meditation. Contemplation is about taking something, if you like, from the crown to the third eye, to the throat, to the heart, to the solar plexus, to the sacrum, to the root. Like really, like feeling it, bringing it through all levels here. And with grace, that there is something divine here already, different than spiritual. To me, the divine is a very, very different vibration than just spiritual, because everything's spiritual in its own way. But the divine involves, right, the angels, the gods, the masters, not just high vibrational, high dimensional, right? Closer, closest to source. The many manifestations of the one and the divine, right? So whatever your, not just spiritual path is, but your mystical path, your divine path. And the path that you love is a mystical path. It's all about mystery and the divine, about you becoming true love. That's why another person isn't required, although this is about relationship. So this could be about relationship with yourself, as I've already said. So let's look at where you're going. One more clarifier card for at least the main three, right? We've got this problem that somehow music is working with, and for that we are going to pull a Daughter of the Moon Tarot. My gods, please clarify for this Libra collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign on the path of true love. Where are they going on the path of true love with this musical problem, or this problem with music, or this problem that music assists with? Please, where are they going? 10 of Cups, babies. That's ecstasy. That's your cup overflowing. But usually, because it's Inanna's house of heaven, when this card comes up, I'm reminding people, please Google the name Inanna. Inanna, I-N-N-A-N-N-A. Yeah. I-N-N-A-N-A. Inanna's house of heaven. The ecstasy card, all right? So perhaps a problem is healed or revealed as a result of a vibrational movement. Like, what's music? It's vibration. Well, vibration is always in movement. But there very, very well may be a resolution here, because that 10 of Cups is the end of the emotional cycle. Maybe it's the end of the problem, but there's a musicality about it, which, you know, I can tune to a little bit more, but we still have a couple more cards to lay down, because now we're going to do the higher selves of all involved through the whispers of love. I love these cards. So again, we'll do past, present, and future. So to the higher selves of all involved, please, one card in clarity for this Libra collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Where have they been on the path of true love with this balance, with the Empress and healing, please, where have they been relative to October 2019? Listen with your heart, and probably listen to your heart. So a lot of that balance has been about you as a Libra mediator, listening to both sides, either yours, somebody else's if they're communicating, and if they're not communicating, kind of being honest and open, then that is about healing that within yourself. That everybody is doing the best that they can, right? Everybody. They don't even know it. We don't even know that we're doing the best that we can. But we can't screw up the divine plan. You can't screw up the path of true love. You just got to walk it with as much love, wisdom, and power as you can. That's a mighty triumvirate, right? Love, wisdom, power, all three of those in balance. And I know you're thinking of balance as scales this way, but remember there's the third point, the still point, that these two come in relationship. So it's really a three. Not talking about three ways or third-party situations, just saying that's the stable foundation, love, wisdom, and power. So in some relationships, we learn lessons of love on the path of true love. Sometimes in relationships, we learn lessons of wisdom, which is through direct experience, usually in hindsight. But when it comes to archetypal power, it's all about power, right? So love, wisdom, and power. Stabilizing that, the stable tripod, the stable foundation of three, right? Maiden, Mother, Crone, Son, Father, Sage, however you want to look at that. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, pick your triumvirate, right? So, for the higher selves of all involved, please, one card to clarify, just so that you see what I'm looking at. I didn't do that with that one, sorry. Again, to clarify this Two of Flames indecision with grace and meditation, contemplation, please, for this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, where are they on the path right now relative to October 2019? The only thing that is real is love. Love is all there is. It's just the ultimate maxim of spiritual truth, that no matter how high we go in consciousness, we're never too cool for love. Love is always the answer. Shift your focus from the problem back to love. Now, that's funny that you have that in the present moment, considering you know that there is a problem going on down the road. Helpful, right? Nothing like GPS. The only thing that is real is love. So that means the fear of, well, but if I choose that, I might miss out on that. But if I choose that, then that might get hurt. And what if I choose wrong? It's only a 2. Text them, say hi. But love is the only thing that is real is love here. Shift your focus from the problem back to love. Love yourself. Bless them with love. Bless the situation with love. That really is a very strong mystical thing to do. Well, all the time, to the best that you can. When you come out of balance, it doesn't mean, oh no, I'm out of balance, I'm not going to meet my true love. You are true love. You're just in the process of chipping away the excess marble. Thank you, Angelo. The sculptor artist, not the turtle. Please, second to last card down, we have your surprise coming. The higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity for this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love relative to October 2019. Where are they going on the path of true love? Treasure your loved ones. It is important to love others deeply, right? So here we got, yeah, there's a problem. Every relationship has its problems, right? But there's something musical here. You know, you may be hearing songs about each other. Again, nothing here that screams romance, but there's definitely music that's triggering you in your head. Like, I get songs stuck in my head until I stop and say, okay, what's the message, guys? And then they either explain it to me or I get it because I look at it differently. But, you know, treasure the ones you love with that 10 of Cups. This could be a very, very high, powerful thing where love is the answer. Because what is it saying? The only thing that's real here is love, and the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is fear. It's right in the Course in Miracles. It's in the introduction. This is a Course in Miracles. It is a voluntary course. Free will does not mean that you get to choose the curriculum, only what you choose to take at a certain time. Essentially, it's saying that love has the opposite of love is not fear. The opposite of love, that love can have no opposite because it's all inclusive. Sorry, I can't believe I screwed up. Bad paraphrase. Good name for a band. Mark A. Lyons. Bad paraphrase. Let's get your last card down because this is so beautiful. Like it is, there's something sweet here, but there's always, as soon as you have balance in the 3D, you're going to have imbalance. So the the fifth dimensional aspect, listen with your heart. The only thing that's real here is love, and to treasure your loved ones, to treasure them. It's important to love them deeply like a buried treasure. Go dig up the treasure of the love that you have buried because of this problem and let music trigger that. That makes sense. So guess what? Guess what your surprises we're going to pull? Caroline, nice archetype for the other for you. Now, this can be a person, place, or thing, right? Yes, if it's the person that you've been dealing with on the path in terms of relationships, then let it be them for the well-being of all. But let's really ask the collective pantheon, my collective pantheon of angels, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, nope, too many. Please, can you give us one card here to represent the other in this Libra collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign path of true love spread overall relative to October 2019? What is the dominant archetype? The soul power of the other in this relationship. It's the bully. The bully, the bully, the bully, the bully, the bully, right? So big in our modern day context. But remember, that goes back to David and Goliath, right? The scripture, not the claymation series from the 70s. Let's clarify. Gee, Davy, I think you're a bully archetype. Screw you, Goliath. The light attribute highlights your tendency to intimidate others. So you as the mediator might be kind of like, I feel like I'm walking on that. If I say the wrong person, I'm walking on eggshells around this person. How do I find the balance here, right? Helps you confront the inner fears that bully them. And that's what you need to know about the other, right? Person, place, or thing, my Libras, whoever you're dealing with on the path of true love for October, that they have got inner fears here that they're really doing. Now, the shadow part conceals deep fear behind verbal or physical abuse. You know when people say, I hate that? Oh, I hate that. You say, oh, I'm doing this. And they go, oh, I hate that. It's like, all right. It's a little strong, right? And that's not what they mean, but that's like backing up their own pain, that there is a fear that they're being bullied. And by the way, the shadow side of the bully is the coward. Behind every bully, there's a coward. Cowardice, an inability to hear, to open, or to follow the love of the heart. Why? Because they're afraid. Now, being afraid is not a sin. Being afraid is part of the path of true love. Love has no opposite, but if it's going to have an opposite in the illusion of separation, it's fear. Just like the opposite of light is shadow. But shadow is not a thing, it's an absence of light. So fear is not really a thing, it's an absence of love. So they do need to embrace their shadow. They do need to confront their fears. Sweethearts, there's only so much you can do about that except to bless them, love them, treasure them, do your best, but it's about you maintaining balance while the other person is working out their internal fears. They are bullying themselves. And what does that look like? Well, let's put it in terms, right? If you're mirroring each other, this, well, if I choose that, then I'm going to have to, but if I don't choose that, I'm going to lose out. Right? They just want to run and hide and cower and drink and smoke and fool around. Like North Star, CITs, meatballs. It's what happens when you work with spirits, right? Angels, gods, and masters. Listen, my darlings, you are walking the path. You're doing really well. Don't let this person bully you. What fears rise up in you, you balance them, you love them, you listen with that open heart. You've already got that in the path. And learning how to listen to that child inside of you, perhaps, the part of you that might feel bullied or might feel cowardice, because on the path of true love, of course, you're going to share archetype stuff here and there, but the chemistry here between the mediator and a bully, because what does a bully situation mean? It's a mediator. So you might be being used as a healer in this, but make sure you're healing yourself, that you're meditating in grace, that you get that the only thing that is real is love, and so that you can treasure your loved ones, whether or not this person is involved, that whatever this problem is actually moving you somehow into a completion of the cycle of water that will bring you great ecstasy, bliss, perhaps for a moment before you start again at the Ace of Cups. And maybe then this relationship takes its next step and is renewed. But it looks like your problems are solved through your own interior work, working and walking the path of true love on October 2019. Cool. May you be blessed with all that you need on the path of true love, and may this bully be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love, that you can both heal, grow, evolve, become the best that you can be, and walk the path of true love and fulfill your roles in the divine plan for the well-being of all. That I am now, and so it is. Thank you so much for your time. Please like, subscribe, and share. And go check your other signs. Cool. I love you guys so much. Keep your balance. Find your wiggle room. But for now, hail, farewell, and blessed be.